Phil, poor day for Manchester United. It's first defeat in 19, so you've got to keep a degree of common sense about it. But it was a poor day at the office.
Poor. I didn't think they have a player on the pitch. Maybe Fernandes that played well. No intensity to play. They looked tired. They looked sluggish. And I think as soon as the team sheet went in, I think Ollie picked the wrong team and he picked the wrong system. I think that was the start of it.
Yeah. Bad combination, really, isn't it? That I mean, it was strange to change his formation to something that we've not seen them play very often.
Well, I mean, I understand when he says about to try and give the team a little bit more energy, because just to freshen things up a bit. They've been on a very good run. Having said that, they have been frighteningly good going forward. There was none of that today.
Yeah.
But you have to credit Chelsea with that, because Frank got his tactics spot on. They stopped Man United playing. They pressed them. Even when they didn't, they just sat off, and there was no way through for Man United at all.
Our training at Chelsea, and just his enthusiasm and willingness to want to improve. You know, you can put your arm around him, and you know he wants to listen if you have information or if you want to criticise him, but he understands it. He understands it. It takes hard work, dedication, and he's willing to learn and want to improve.
He's got brilliant energy as well. Do you see him in the England team? So, I mean, he's been around it anyway. But
he should be around it. I think in the England team they've got a lot of youth and young players, and I think what he brings is so much energy. If you want to play a high pressing game, he's always on the press, but he can find a pass. He knows to get in between lines.
The timing's good.
The system suits him. The system today suited him, playing off that left hand side. He's got plenty of support and foundation behind him. You think of Maddison, you think of Grealish. I actually think he's the best of that bunch at the moment to spring forward, and he keeps getting better and better.
Like him, Al? Remember when he came to the studio a few years ago? Little young lad in Russia. Yeah, with Phil Foden.
He was looking at you thinking, who are you? Didn't he know who you were?
That's everyone's like that now.
No, I think that Ashley summed them up really well in terms of the energy that, particularly this evening, he was everywhere. They're closing down. Didn't give any United players any space.
Well, it's his first season in charge of Chelsea. He's taking his team to the FA Cup final. Here's Frank Lampard.
Frank, a result and a performance I'm sure you're very proud of.
Yes, very. I can't ask for any more than that. Maybe a couple more goals, and that's surprising when you play against a team with their quality. But more than that was the work ethic of the performance. I think when we played with a system which we haven't played for a while, I was surprised that they matched us up before, by chance in a way. So the early parts of the game I thought we were on top, and then when they changed the system I thought we were even better. We did everything that I asked of them or the staff asked of them, but some things you can't always absolutely control. But when you see a team come out and run, and wing backs jump up to get close to people, midfield players, Jorginho, Kovacic, Giroud, Mount, I could go through the whole team. Very proud of the performance.
It was a tough couple of games coming into this one. You did shuffle it and it worked, and was that an element of players looking at the last couple of games and saying, no, we're better than that?
Yeah, maybe, and this where we're at, it's going to happen. We lost at Sheffield United, we were so disappointed. Norwich we get a win without it being a brilliant performance, but sometimes a bit of edge around the place is not the worst. But it's easy to say that after a win, do you know what I mean? But it's been like that, and to change the system, we had a lot of information, a lot of work done in the last 2 days, and you're only as good as your players in that sense, and they all deserve huge credit, and they kept going right to the end against a really top side. So, and the form that they're in, it's. I'm proud of the players. It's a semi-final. We've got another game to go now, but I'm very proud to be there.
Yeah, you look at that Sheffield United game and there were perhaps criticisms towards some of the leadership within your players, but the discipline of that performance today, that show that you do have leaders in this team who can step up. Yeah,
and they should take confidence from that and carry on with that, because there are, and leaders come in all different forms, and it's not like the old eras or dressing rooms. You can't compare across eras. You look at the place now, and some of our younger players need to stand up, and whether it's even with their performance rather than their voice sometimes, but also there's some experienced ones. And today it looked like it was a performance full of character and personality within it, which after Sheffield United you couldn't say. So to do that against Manchester United, delighted.
And an all-London final as well. Arsenal back here on the 1st of August. Something to look forward to, albeit some pretty big games before it.
Yeah, we have finals ahead now. That's one which we know what it is, but the league now is 2 finals for us coming up in the next week. So recovery is going to be huge. But yeah, I watched the game last night. Arsenal, the way they're playing, the manager that they have. The fact of the London derby, the fact it's a final, a big game, going to be very, very tough. And of course, we refocus on the league, but we'll have to show similar character, similar discipline if we're going to get that result.
Very, very close to the end of the season. 3 massive games left. It could be a very good season for you, for the club, though, couldn't it?
Well, I hope so, because we want to win things, and at the start of the season, if you'd have asked the question, it would have been, we weren't in the race really for top 4. In most predictions I saw, quietly I was hoping, and you work away to try and get that. So I don't want to put everything on 3 games defining the progress that individuals have made, that I think we've made as a team collectively. But of course we want top 4, and we want to try and win that final when we're at the business end. So let's see. Let's try and replicate today.
Well done today. All the best for the rest.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
I think the time.
You do think
I
it
do,
could
yeah.
be? What about the fact?
So bad, Gary, if it's just one, it keeps happening.
Yeah. Well, if you were in charge at Manchester United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, would you be because Henderson, I think they were talking about maybe giving him another year somewhere, maybe at Sheffield United, maybe somewhere else.
Yeah.
Would you now actually, considering the form of David De Gea, go, hang on a minute, it might be time for this young man?
I think you bring him back to Manchester United when you think he's going to be the number one. I don't think there's any point in bringing him back to sit on the bench.
Yeah. That's my point.
If you're going to bring Henderson back, he has to bring him back as number one. Otherwise, let him stay out there and keep on gaining the experience. But has that time come? Yes, the time has come for that.
Yeah. You need and it affects the confidence of a team if your goalkeeper's nervous, doesn't it? I mean, it's amazing we're talking about De Gea in this way, because he was so good for so many years.
I just feel Ole might have to refresh in terms of, look at it and assess it, because De Gea keeps making the same mistakes.
Yeah.
Is a similar goals that keep going in around his feet, whether he goes with his foot instead of his arm. So that would be a concern, I would say.
OK, we can now hear from Mason Mount, who was the goal scorer of the one that David De Gea let through his hands.
Mason, an FA Cup final to look forward to in a couple of weeks, and a pretty emphatic way to get there. You must have enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was brilliant. You always want to turn up in big games. I thought we did that today. It's always kind of difficult going into the game when you've played them how many times and they've beat you throughout the season so far, but we come into the game with that extra motivation, knowing that if we win the game, it's a massive final for us, and we want to win trophies.
Back on the score sheet as well. When you hit it, did you expect to see it going into the back of the net?
No, I just hit it on, tried to get it on target, and anything can happen when that happens. So maybe a little bit fortunate for it to go in, but no, I was obviously very happy. And then it gave us that kind of room to express ourselves even more. Goal.
There certainly hasn't been any pressure put on you by your manager in terms of getting goals, but is it something that you put on yourself? Was there an element of relief to get back on the score sheet?
Yeah, definitely. I always want to score goals, want to create assists. That's something definitely I look at in my game. Hasn't happened for a while, but you always looking to have an effect on the game in different areas. But yeah, obviously very happy to score today, and hopefully that can keep going.
There's a couple of pretty big games before you're back here for the FA Cup final. I'm sure you know that Leicester dropped points today. It could be a very, very good season for Chelsea, couldn't it?
Yeah. The gaffer just said then that it's 2 massive finals before we play here again, and we need to go into it with that mindset to try and win both games to secure the top 4. That's definitely our goal, and then we're back here. Hopefully we can win the trophy.
Can you start to look forward to getting back here yet?
No, I think we need to take the 2 first games. They're massive games in the league. And as I said, we want to finish top 4. We want to get in that 3rd position and stay there. And then we can focus on getting back here. Yeah.
OK, well done. Good luck in the next few games.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Another FA Cup final to come for you. You like this competition, don't you?
Well, yeah, I said to my boys in the dressing room, I would love to win another one. Would be my 5th one. So yeah. Another final now is going to be another big game against Arsenal. It's going to be also special personally for me. But we put it on the side. We are very happy with the team performance today. But put it on the side and okay, thanks Spurs, Leicester didn't win, but now we need to focus on the Championship, on the Premier League. And yeah, we just want to finish top 3 and obviously win another FA Cup.
It was such a disciplined performance, like you say, controlled the game throughout. It's all about going through to the final, but to do it in the way that you did it must be very special as well.
Excuse me, I didn't hear because...
Sorry. Yeah, the music is quite loud.
Yeah.
And it's such a disciplined and controlled performance. Mm-hmm. You want to get to the final, but to do it the way you did it today must be special.
Well, today we play, it's been a while we didn't play 3 at the back, 3-4-3, so I think we started very well the game by putting them under pressure, with a good pressing. Basically, in first half, I think apart the 2 free kicks, they didn't get a lot of chances to score, and we've been well in the game. But I think obviously in the second half, when we scored this second goal. After we could dominate the game and dictate the game as we want, and I think we even get better and better through the game, so I'm very pleased to help the team always to score. Today it was a good assist from Aspi, and we keep going.
Yeah, you've had to fight for your place in this starting lineup. How at home do you feel now that you're back there?
Well, it's all behind me, now I'm looking forward, and I'm very happy at Chelsea. I'm a Blue, I just want more trophies, win more trophies, and we have the opportunity to do it in the FA Cup, and finish top 3 will be a good season.
Yeah, a lot still to